Live in New York, performing the song Diane Young from their forthcoming record, Modern Vampires of the City, Vampire Weekend. Ezra Koenig, vocals and guitar. Rustam Batbanglij on guitar. That was Chris Thompson on drums. Chris Bayo on bass. Ezra is with me here at the table. Hello, sir. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
Nice job.
Thanks.
On this new record. I mean, despite being a New York band, you haven't actually played a full official show here in 2.5 years. How does it feel to be performing in front of a hometown crowd again?
It's a nice ease in to the process. It has been a while.
We're going to have a proper chat later in the show, and you guys are going to play a bit more. You know, beyond New York, Ezra, you've called this Vampire Weekend's most American album. What do you mean by that?
Well, I think musically and lyrically, it kind of has the most American identity. And when our band first came out, despite the fact that half of our songs were about Cape Cod, we sometimes, especially when we'd go abroad, we'd meet journalists who'd be like, oh, you know, I really thought that you were English the first time I heard you. And at first we didn't really think much of it. But then it's been kind of interesting after traveling the whole world to realize just how American we are, and I think this album reflects that.
And was that an intent then? Did you go in with this imperative of we want to sound more American so people stop thinking we're British?
No, that wasn't our #1 priority, and there's worse things than sounding British. But these are the type of things that just kind of seep into the music. You know, whether it's musically, lyrically, or even just in terms of vibe, you know?
I mean, people have called you, put you in the world music category before because of ideas, notions, sonics, musical bits that you would steal from or take from different places in the world. Do you feel like you're you're involving yourself in a more of American musical traditions now? Is that part of it?
Well, sure. I mean, our music is always going to be, to some extent, about the connections that we see between different types of music or ideas that seem distinct, but probably are more interrelated than most people realize. So, to some extent, I mean, American music is a product of these connections between different cultures. I mean, you know, everybody who's American has probably some form of dual identity. I mean, even, you know, first and foremost, I'm an American, but of course we all kind of, you know, people are interested in tracing our roots and things like that. Yeah. So, you know, primarily Americana music sometimes seems like this very simple, boring thing, but really, I think if you look at it and listen to it with fresh ears, it's kind of amazing, all the ways that, you know, things like gospel and bluegrass and country music came together.
It's nice to have you here. Thanks for you guys stepped up right away when we said we're coming to New York and we wanted you to play, and it's a thrill, and look forward to hearing more later in the show and having a proper chat.
Thank you.
Ezra Koenig, Vampire Weekend. New album is called Modern Vampires of the City. It's out May 14th. They've also got a bunch of big dates ahead this year, including just being announced as part of the Glastonbury lineup for 2013. Vampire Weekend will be back to perform with us throughout the show.